The beats, the flow, the rhythm. All movement starts from the streets. Streets A&R Podcast.
Yes, sir.
Man, we should have did a listening session in Earth Gang. That shit knocking, nigga. They whole album, cause they one of the few people that like toe the line with the conscious ratchet.
Mm-hmm.
But I think on this one, a lot of people hadn't really been feeling their stuff because they're a little too abstract, and then kind of like Vince Staples, they had to scale back, especially production wise, and give people a little bit more what they want without sacrificing themselves. And they got some damn heat, but they gonna always give you the social commentary behind it, and they came with it. It's like real Outcast like type shit, like real the other Atlanta.
Nah, for sure. It's crazy, just coming from Atlanta.
Oh yeah.
We was just down there listening to that in Atlanta.
Oh, for real.
But you called it conscious ratchet. I like a term my boy Chickadebia was the first person I ever heard say. He called it conscious ignorance.
Oh yeah.
That conscious ignorance.
Yeah, it just sounds like it's supposed to be, so it rings to the people who don't know no better, just to feed them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's like giving them what's a good dish? Like just giving them a real eloquent dish, but serving it in a way that they'll be able to eat it and digest it. And like, all right, man, that shit very palatable. Cause some of the other stuff, I love it. Now I've been a fan for a minute, but yeah, I know being in Atlanta. Did you feel like they got a good reception in Atlanta when you was down there? Well, I mean, or you couldn't really?
I couldn't really gauge. I wasn't in the club. Man.
Yeah.
You know me, I be chilling, man. So
Yeah.
We gotta get Shamari. We gotta get our bro show on here, man, and get him to talk about the escapades, man, and what was going down, and how he feel about the reception. But it's different in the A, man.
Yeah. I would, that's a trip I should have been on, because we would have had a whole lot of different escapades.
Sir.
I was like, we got to see what is happening.
Yeah.
And we'd have been in some spots, and
They was in some
spots.
They was in
Yeah.
some spots. I was just chilling.
Yeah.
I was chilling. They was in some spots.
Should have had y'all go to Cascades. That's like a must for even a visitor. Have you been to Cascades?
Mm-mm. I haven't been to Atlanta before.
Oh, wow.
I did like a little layover for like 6 hours and went out, but I'm trying to actually go in April.
In April?
I'm gonna go see Lucky Day, hopefully.
Oh, man.
Okay.
She going to April. I ain't gonna lie, it's too much happening in April because I can't make that trip. A lot of trips that we got to make. She was just running down all the concerts and shit. I'm like, put us on the schedule, because we got to go Lincoln, maybe Iowa City. We got to go to Lawrence, Kansas. Like everybody's out and around here. Ain't nobody touching here. Minus Dizzy Wright, he coming, but he always coming. So we appreciate that look. But man, I guess that's gonna be our mission.
Our next one.
We got to get people start showing up. We got to get some buzz. Like, stop through here. I'm working on one that's on tour. I'm working. I've been talking to him. Wanted him to do the show, but I might, you know what? It's on the way to your own the way. It's on the way to your destination. If you can slide through, even if it's an off day, we'll schedule it correctly. Let's make this happen.
Man.
So gotta hit him with all the pictures I done took with him over the years. I'm like, let's do this for real. Shoot, we gotta get started. Man. But we one of these days, when we get them 100 subscribers, we will have a drop for you.
Man.
Like a live drop.
That part.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm working on it.
We Johnny got to get his drop.
I'm working on it. I got my boy Lipo. He's supposed to be re-recording my drop, man.
Okay.
Can't find the original. So.
Yeah, we got to get something even for the pod, something simple. I don't know. I be thinking, I'm like, man, it's time to step into the streets. I don't know. That might be it.
Hey, man. Hey, you a genius with the words, man. So just go with it.
Yeah, I just be thinking. He was there when we recorded the
intro.
The intro. I was just sitting there, like, I gotta get an intro, and I just started thinking and typing, and like, all right, this what came to me. And then his punk ass wouldn't do it. I was mad. He was like, "No, you got the voice, man.
You got the voice." he don't realize, like, he got a good voice, and that and the intro is fitting. Like I couldn't even imagine me doing the intro. I don't even think a single listener could imagine me doing the intro.
I don't know how to take that, but I don't know. It was just something I think he knew understood the essence because I was creating it. So he's like, nah, just rock with it. You know, the homie recorded was kind of laughing. I'm like, no, this shit came out. Stop playing with me.
Right.
I know what I'm doing, kind of, not really.
Right. Man.
But man, it's good to be in the building. We got our boy, Johnny No Good in the house.
Man.
Fresh out the A.
Fresh out there.
Did you get some chicken wings from the strip club?
No, I didn't go to the strip club. They went to the strip club. I was chilling.
Yeah.
The night that I was ready and had my energy and I was ready to go out was the night that it was time to chill. I didn't know. I thought it, because I had an 11 o'clock flight. I knew Show had like a 9 o'clock flight. I thought everybody had a late flight. It was over with. I missed my chance.
Wait, but even if they don't, like the rule of traveling is if you go out the night before and you got an early flight, you don't go to sleep. That's the
Very
rule
true.
of traveling. Like, I teach y'all these. Listen, man,
Hey, man,
I've been asleep on many a plane,
that part.
but I don't drink either, so I'm cool.
part.
But,
That part.
I've been asleep on many a flights. Prepare for it.
It looked like they went hard. So maybe they went hard that night before. It is the A. They don't play. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we was down there living cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, shout out to my boy Show, man. He did it big, man. He did it big.
Yes, sir. Showhawk.
Yes, sir.
Man, did y'all get to link up with Buddy?
Nah, we didn't get to link up with Buddy that Friday night. Nope.
Man,
Man,
I started to text too, but I was like, nah, they on the trip. They doing their thing. I ain't tripping.
man, yeah, man. So we did a couple things, man. We didn't get to link up with Buddy. I did get to link up with one family member, but outside of that, I ain't hit up nobody. I ain't linked with nobody. I literally was chilling, bro, reading, and having some good food, good time, bro, around good energy, bro. Like it was, for me, it was much needed, bro. Reset, just going to the new Black Wall Street.
That's what I was just about to ask you about.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
What about it?
I was just gonna ask, how was it? It looked cool. I saw some pictures that you posted.
Oh, it was beautiful. It's always beautiful to see a whole bunch of people that look like you doing good business and doing commerce, and everybody understanding. There's not that weird tension or energy when you see certain different Black people. Everybody speak to you, and the people who don't speak, it's not nothing. You know, it ain't no bad energy to it. So it was just a beautiful thing. The one thing I pulled for sure, a lot of Black women with businesses in the A. A lot of Black women doing their thing around.
Functioning.
They doing their thing.
Functioning.
A lot of Black women. So shout out to the Black women putting the thing down, man, and representing entrepreneurship.
I'm just thinking all the names like, dang, I should have hit up Tashana because she lived down there.
Sure. For sure, I seen I know she be down there. My cousin Lane Gang be down there.
Yep.
It's a lot of people I ain't hit up, bro. Like I said, I was just chilling, like literally chilling. And plus two, when you down there on the behalf of somebody else and it's their special occasion, you don't want to make plans for them. Bro had the full itinerary already planned out. So you don't never want to impose when you going down on somebody else's behalf.
Right.
That's just that's just bad stewardship.
Yes, sir.
That's true.
Yeah, I was like the complete opposite. Even because I was down there for you can call it a bachelor party, but it wasn't no party. But I'm just like free floating. I was like hit the homies up, like, what y'all doing? I'm like, I'm just here to kick it. So let's see where the night go. No, let me hop on Eventbrite. That look cool. Let's go there. Oh, my homie just hit me. He got a comedy show. Let's go there. Support him. Oh, Jada Kids having an album release party. It's free right now before 11.
Yep.
Let's go.
And that's how Shamari is. So like that's what I'm saying. So bro already know how to find all the spots, get it, So it was a good time, bro.
Man,
It
that's
was a good time.
That's love. Just to be able to recharge around actual energetic people. You like, oh, I'm actually charging up. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
I see what it could be. I see what it's like. And that don't mean everything perfect, but like, man, like it's just needed to see and to feel, like to truly feel it.
Yeah. But man, we stopped there with me, man, and we got on that little tangent, man. I see we got a special guest today, man.
Oh yeah, man. We got us a nice guest. And I called her earlier. I said, you are the only grounded, free spirit person I know. You're talking about a delicate balance that's balanced well. That has a lot of knowledge and a lot of will to make a way where there is no way, all because of their artistic and creativity.
Yes, sir.
And the freedom to try to express that and to explore that is always beautiful to see. And I've been a part of events in the past that you've done, and I'll be part of events that's coming up, and vice versa. And I just want to give, and this is somebody who is when I say actual supporter, a supporter. If you're moving in the right way, she supports you, and she supported both of us heavily on our endeavors, and we like to reciprocate that. And just somebody, just a friend that you can just kick it and talk to about whatever. Damn near anytime, whatever. Hey, again, free spirit. Yo, it's 2 a.m. She probably the one you can call, like, yo, man, I'm out. Were you up? Yep. Let's just chop it up. Let's just music, chop it up. It's whatever. Got a lot of things coming up. A lot of big things for the city. Real big things. And I think the people need to know about it, and I think they need to know who you are. So we got our good friend Alajia on the podcast, man. Give her a round of applause, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What's up?
Am I supposed to introduce myself right now?
Yeah, how you feeling?
Okay. Well, I just want to say thank y'all for such a warm compliment. It made my heart feel a little warm. Which camera do I look at? Either more? It doesn't matter. Okay, sorry, I'm new to this. This is my first official podcast. I'm so happy to be here. But my name's Alajia. I'm a local artist, multidisciplinary, so I do kind of a mix of things. And I'm a community herbalist, just a community person. I love Omaha, and I love being here, and I love making art and sharing and creating joyful experiences that we can all have. Yeah.
Man, she being modest.
Man.
Hey, you know how people be being modest?
Like she just didn't drop a whole commercial for some shit she going on this summer.
Man, being modest, man. Shout out to Alajia, man. I just want to thank you, what you was able to do for me and my family, to be able to push me out there to Minnesota. I'll never be able to thank you enough for it. So I appreciate you for that.
Of course, anytime. It was absolutely my pleasure.
For sure.
Yeah,
man. And the reason why I'm saying she being modest is because she do a lot of different things. And of all the titles that she didn't mention, curator of events, spaces was not one of the things that she mentioned.
Right. So with that being said, what are some, especially in the past, what are some of the events that you've been able to curate here in Omaha that you put together or been a part of?
Okay, so my first event that I ever put together was this art show called Outsider Mind, and it was like me and then 2 other artists, Casey Callahan and Talia Rogers, and Eric DJ. That was the first event I ever put on. Is at Outer Spaces when they moved to their new space on 13th Street. And so it was just like a big art show. Like we brought like all of the art that we had, and so like we covered all of the walls, and they got this like room where one of the pianos is now, but we like covered that room, and then we covered like the brick walls, and me and Casey made this like new piece that's like this weird face type thing that we like hung on the banners there. It was really, really dope. And so I think Talia performed a little bit, and then Eric DJ'd the whole time, and it was really cool. I think like 150 people came out that night. So like as a first time thing, it definitely felt like really affirmative, because like before then I knew I wanted to do an art show for like 2 years, but like nobody would like open up the space to make it happen. And like Outer Spaces wasn't necessarily like a space for like a visual art show. And so it was cool to kind of like introduce that into the space, and then like people started to like use it for that. So that was cool.
Yeah. She didn't tell you she danced at that show.
I was thinking that.
Yeah, and she did a whole... And
that was a different show.
That was a different one?
That was one that me and Sarah curated. So me and Sarah curated another show at Outer Spaces. Boom. Eric also DJ'd. And
we just be busy working. I'm sorry. I get them mixed up.
Yeah. And so then some band played. I can't remember their name right now, but that's a band played, and me and Sarah made all these like crazy like installation pieces out of cardboard, and I did this like dance performance. That was the first time I really ever like did a solo performance in front of anybody. So that was cool. And then like some other stuff, when I used to be a part of like the study, I used to help try to kind of like put events together there. And then I had like a funk night. Eric also DJ'd. And then I had the 2 Chainz night, which that night was like super memorable. It was basically, I think after, well, I can't remember the name of that album. What's the Trap House album?
The Pink something. But it's I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the 2 Chainz album. I just feel like after that, like in my circle, just like my cousins and my friends, we was like bumping that heavy and just like, I don't know. I remember being in like high school listening to like 2 Chainz, like True Religion and shit. And so I was like, it would be super tight to like put on a 2 Chainz event where we just like get ratchet. And so it was pretty fun. That was at like the old like drip space or whatever. And yeah, it was dope. And then we like projected on the wall and a lot of people came out. It was cool. So those are some of the things I've done. And then most recently, or I guess last year, I had the Juneteenth event, which is like a one that I'm really proud of. That I feel like kind of like pushed me into a place of being like, oh yeah, this is like it for me. So.
Got you. Oh man, those events were always hella fun, and I always get to push all the way. I always get to really just see the kind of the maturation and the ability to just push it all the way. We gonna take
Am
a
I
quick.
not pushing it? Okay,
Yeah,
I
there
pushed
it
it.
is. Yeah.
I thought I was pushing it.
Back to our regularly scheduled program. We live, bitch. But no, it's just been fun to see like the growth and the ability to try new. You heard in her speech, it was first. My first time doing this, my first time dancing, my first time putting the show together. And it's that spirit of creativity and not being afraid to do something you've never done, because your spirit is moving you in that direction. It's always dope to see, and she is also just an avid overarching art lover. And I know one of the new things you've been doing are the listening sessions that you've been putting on. So kind of explaining them, what type of listening sessions are you having? Like, what's the purpose and what have you been doing?
Yeah, so just in general, like I'm like a real big music fan. Like I love just like diving into albums, and I try to be really intentional about the way that I listen to music, because you know, music is like an outlet for a lot of people. It's therapeutic, it's soothing, and I feel like for me, it just like takes me to like this different world. And like, I don't know, people always told me that I had a good taste in music, and like even when I was like in high school and stuff, like when I would hang out with my friends, I used to be the person who would play the music all the time, or like make CDs that we would listen to in everybody's cars and drive around. So I feel like that spirit kind of like led me a little bit to start doing this. But most recently, I feel like maybe even like the pandemic, like I just started to listen to albums differently than I ever did before. Like I feel like I would like, you know, maybe play them while driving, or like play them while like doing whatever around the house. But I just like got to a point where I'm just like, I'm trying to think like what album. Oh, okay. Let me go back a little bit. So I think the reason why I started doing that is because during the pandemic, I spent a lot of time at the Hi-Fi House. That was like my like go-to like escape from like all this craziness that's happening. And I think that like there's this one EP by Stanley Clarke called Journey to Love, and I think it's like came out in 1975 or something. And Paul, what's his last name? From First Sky or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Paul B. Allen.
Yeah, Paul B. Allen. He showed me that album, and so I just remember like listening to it, and it just like changed the way that I interacted with music. And then so like after that, whenever albums would drop, especially during the pandemic, like Leon LaHavas dropped and like Lil Dragon dropped, and I like bought their vinyls and went to listen to them at the Hi-Fi House and just like sat with it with like no phone, no nothing. Like let me just listen through. And so there's just something about like being incredibly present, which is like, I think just a way to truly like appreciate like what the artist is giving you, you know, it's like a gift, right? That's like the way that I try to like think about it, is as a gift. And so I just wanted to really like appreciate their craft, because I feel like a lot of times when people drop albums and stuff, it's like they get compared to their last album, or it's like people try to think about it necessarily like from like what you as a fan want them to have. And I just want to like, I just appreciate art, right? So I just like appreciate the art of their storytelling. So I've been trying to have these like little listening sessions, because I just want to like create spaces where people can listen to music in like a real present way, like with other people that another reason why I did it too is because like I get really excited and I'm like, is anybody else listening to this? Like, this is so incredible. So I think I just wanted to create a space where we could experience it together and then be able to hear other people's perspectives. And so we've done a couple of them, and it's been really powerful and really fun and intimate. And I like the intimacy of it. I've been kind of just doing like invite only thing. You know, the Rona was still like crazy. So, but I hope to open it up to like the public someday, or like get local ones, stuff like that.
For sure. And I actually enjoy the atmosphere there, just to sit and listen. I think I've been to all of them. Mm-hmm. What was the first one? You remember?
The Mick Jenkins.
Mick Jenkins, yep. And then Amber Mark. And then Saba on this last one. Mm-hmm. We had Earth Gang on the docket, but they had to push back. You know, they had to get clearance, man. They didn't clear the, you know how that go. Everything wasn't cleared, but they got it cleared. But it's just good to sit with people who are trying to listen to albums on music that I already listened to. Like, these are artists that, or even like Amber Mark, I never knew who she was. Put me on to a new artist. I actually got to play her at a little house party. Play FOMO. Okay. And everybody was bopping. I was in my funk bag and house bag, and they was like, "Oh, what's like?" Yeah, but it's always good to be amongst people, especially in a time and era where we getting a lot of microwave, everything, especially with music. So a lot of the artists that she's exploring on there are artists that put together bodies of work, and they don't make sense if you try to just sparse out song by song. You kind of you have to listen to the body of work. And we're kind of in a crazy time. Even we talk about it, like with streaming, it's almost bringing back the bodies of work because people want everything to stream. So now they're thinking like a cohesive project. People gonna listen all the way through. So I'm gonna get more streams instead of just putting out singles. So it's interesting, and I think the artistry has definitely kicked back up in like hip hop and music in general. And my girl, I was just getting through Moonchild, this new album, Starfruit. They is always wavy, and I think they listened to the pod. I'm gonna just say it because they got some. Moonchild's one of those soul artists that I mentioned. I said I wish they would work with some of our legacy soul artists. And on the first track, they got Layla Hathaway. Hey, if you listen to us, say what's up.
Man,
Subscribe.
It definitely be a lot of people that do that, man. But speaking of artistry, how did you first get interested? What's your journey with being an artist? Like, where did you find the love of art in all of its capacities and forms?
Okay. I feel like that's a story. So, honestly, I feel my mom really like exposed me and my siblings to a lot when I was a kid. And even today, I just like said thank you to her before this podcast. I was like, I just feel like so thankful that you just, provided so many creative experiences for me. But my dad was really into like music and like used to write songs and stuff like that. And then my mom used to like paint. She used to like paint like these like crazy realistic pictures of like apples and stuff like that. And I remember being like a kid, like amazed by like what was happening. I just thought she was so talented. And then she used to always just have me and my siblings in like whatever creative things that she could. So I remember when I was a kid, I was in ballet. I had guitar lessons, piano lessons. I played the clarinet. She used to take us to like just like classes they had at the Jocelyn, so random like visual art things. So I feel like a lot of like my art making came from like those experiences as a child. And then I feel like my love for music came from just like her and her friends and the stuff that they used to do. So they used to have these things called Zen nights on Fridays where they would like all drink wine, like Zenfidel. They all drink wine, and then like, all the kids would be there. And I just remember like just like slow, like my mom teaching me how to like two-step to like Sade and like Luther Vandross and stuff. So I feel like a lot of my music love came from like what my mom used to play. And like I remember like always singing like Window Seat by Erykah Badu with her. Like that's still like one of my favorite songs to this day. And so that's where a lot of my creative inspiration came from, which I feel like even recently I've had to like acknowledge that, because I think that for a long time, like I didn't really make art in high school. Like I played the clarinet for like 5 years until I was in middle school, but high school was like a whole different journey for me. I went to a really white school, and it was just like I dealt with a lot of issues, like when it came to my identity and the way I looked being like a dark-skinned Black woman, and like, you know, I'm like the way that I speak and stuff, people used to always like tell me I was too white and then like I was too Black, you know what I mean? Like stuff like that. So I dealt with a lot of those things. And then I had like just even the dynamic of having like a lot of white teachers who like, you know, don't see Black children and sometimes single them out. Like I feel like I had this art teacher that like you had to take her class to get into the rest of art classes. And she would give me an I on every project. And I don't know why she would give me an I, because I was doing the work. And so I just dropped her class, and then I just like felt discouraged from doing art that whole time. And so it definitely has been like a journey on like not, what do you call it? Having regret for not working during that time, I guess. And so, yeah, that's kind of like what I've been trying to work through within myself lately.
Yeah, that's a journey too in its own self. And like speaking of that, I do want to get to that in a second, as far as working on that journey. But how has that journey, how have you been able to go through that journey of like self-healing, self-discovery, self-expression through art? Seeing as art was once used as a discouragement, and your power was taken away from somebody by somebody, or try to dampen that. How did you find the ability to use that and face that and embrace that?
I will say that when I was like 17, I just went through like something really traumatic, but it was like kind of one of those like awakening moments in my life. Like I feel like when I really started to learn about like my emotional responsibility, and also even the fact that I had trauma, you know, because a lot of people have trauma and are experiencing like PTSD and symptoms of trauma, but you know, we live in a culture that like doesn't talk about it or diagnose it, or, you know, have like resources for it. So I read this book called You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hayes, and it just kind of like opened my mind to just all of the things that were happening. And I felt like I learned about coping mechanisms. And at first I think I had really bad coping mechanisms. Like, I don't know, I was just introduced to like drugs at a young age. Like I wasn't doing anything too crazy, but like definitely like not who I am, you know? And yeah, so then like when I was like 18 and just like kind of like, you know, not trying to be like dependent on even just weed or whatever, or like my friends, or, you know, whatever my ego is trying to tell me that I need to like exist, I started to like just like paint a lot to like as like a healing mechanism. I was like, well, there has to be healthy ways. So like writing and working art just really became a way for me to like communicate my story and tell it in ways that I couldn't necessarily like communicate with my like voice. And also I will like shout out to my cousin Cameron and my sister Egypt. They're kind of like the older ones in my family group. And like when I was 18, they just like sat me and my brother down and was like, you know, like whatever you guys want to do, you need to start it now. Like don't wait until your 20s. Don't like let people think that you have time. Like you do have time, but like the younger you start, the more you'll appreciate it and the farther you'll get. Like, I wish that, like, when I was 18, I had someone telling me this. And I just remember that conversation, like, really stuck with me. And so then, like, at that time, I started, like, modeling, too, a lot. And that was, like, a big, like, healing journey for me to, like, finally, like, really, like, accept and appreciate myself as a Black woman. Because, like, I dealt with a lot of colorism issues. So I dealt with people always telling me that, like, oh, you're pretty, but you're too dark, or like, you know, all those types of things. And so I just feel like I started to find myself like, no, like I am a Black woman and I'm beautiful, and like I can, you know, show my beauty and be confident in it. So that's kind of like where the healing journey started. And then from there on, art has always been like a way for me to like move through the pain that I'm going through in my life.
And I think that's like a perfect my next question before I pass it back over to E. Is how does it feel, right, to then have art be the medium in which your modeling and beauty is exposed? Because you got a mural out there in Minnesota, don't you?
Shout out to Reggie.
Let's talk about that. So how is that whole journey then, and then seeing yourself out there, man? Because shout out to Reggie LaFleur.
Well, you know, like, especially in like your 20s, like I'm only 24, so my identity is like constantly changing. And I think that seeing that mural, it came out last year in September. Seeing that mural came at like a really prevalent time where I was able to like see myself again, because I do think that like trying to like navigate like kind of the Omaha art community in the past 2 years has been like detrimental to like how I see myself. And I will say that like, you know, part of that is because like the ways people treated me, but part of that is also like I maybe allowed their perceptions of me to cloud my own too much, you know, like that's the lesson that I learned in that. But seeing that mural at a really important time was just like, I don't know, I just could like, I remember like going to see it and just like, I couldn't help but like cry. Like that's the first thing that I did. And I just remember like thinking about like my 7-year-old self who was like super timid and like, you know, insecure for some reason because like people used to always like say stuff about, you know what I mean? Kids are mean. Kids are mean. And so I feel like I just remember like kind of healing that like childhood self, like, you know, like this is who you always were. And like you are like a very beautiful person, like inside and out. And it's here on this mural, like memorialized. And especially to like be portrayed as Oshun, one of the Orishas of creativity and fertility and stuff, was just really powerful, I think, cause especially because I've been trying to like think about what African religions mean to me and like how I can be rooted in specific ones. And I feel like I really relate to a lot of the Yoruba practices. So it just came at a really like powerful, like intersecting time in my life where I was able to like see and identify myself again.
Man, that's amazing. The power of imagery and the reinforcement of it to your identity and self. So it's very important. So even with that, we talk about identity and finding yourself. Sometimes our identity is expressed through what we do. And I know you're currently moving into a new venture of your events. So I want you to kind of highlight, I know you just dropped I'll call it a commercial, but a beautiful piece on something you're working on for the future, for this summer that we've spoken about. Can you tell the people what it is that they should be looking forward to from you?
Yes. Okay. So this project is titled Sunday Soul, and it's like a 5-part performance series at Holy Family Community Center. And Holy Family Community Center, it used to be a church, but then St. Vincent de Paul kind of took over it, and it's still being used for like some of the similar things that it was being used for. So they have like a thrift store and like a pantry where they give out things, but they have the chapel there that is just like so captivating. It's such an incredible space. So I'm just trying to curate like 5 series there of like of music and dance and spoken word, and a lot of the artists that I'm interested in are women, but there still would be male supporting acts involved. And it's all free to the public, and there will be food available. And I feel like there's something about like reclaimed church spaces. I like to like phrase it as that I just really like resonate with in my art. And speaking of resonate, I had a project titled Resonate at another old church space that's on 20th Street in Benton. And I just feel like I kind of know what it means to me. I'm still kind of like unveiling it, but I just think that there's like such sanctuary and peace that exists within church, regardless of like whatever specific religion was practicing there, you know, because certain religions, like, I don't know if I necessarily agree with the things that they do, but I think that like, you know, the power of prayer is very prevalent, and that people, that it just creates this like, this sanctuary and this like beautiful, like euphoric and ethereal space. And so I'm just trying to like create more spaces of joy. I think that's the way I like to phrase the type of events that I throw. And I really do hope that like this space is like opened up to more artists in Omaha and stuff. But I just think that like what I do and like my power and who I am is that like I just have the energy and the intentions to bring people together in a way that feels like open and safe and like healing. Yeah. So I think that's the reason why I want to do it for free. And I just think that also like, I feel like there's so many oppressive forces in Omaha all the time. And especially just like, I've been exposed to a lot in my life of going to like, I don't know how many different countries. I think it's like 6, but I'm going to like 6 different countries, and I've like seen a lot. I've gone to like shows, like literally I've been to so many concerts. And so I've just like really been able to experience like different places and like how their culture is thriving. And we do have a culture here, but there's just always like these forces trying to like silence us or press us against us, or like individual artists don't feel supported, so they leave. And so I feel like I just want to like create events that feel culturally representative of what Omaha is, and also just like the exceptional art that is being made here. And I just think that like there's not enough artist-led celebrations, that a lot of like things that happen to do with art in Omaha are like nonprofits or institutions. And I think there's just like a lot of issues that can come with that, because then they choose all the same people, or even then they don't want to like pay you equitable amounts that actually like, you know, affirm your worth. So I just want to like really like for artists to feel supported. I've always just had that energy in me. Like when I see people doing something they love, like I just want to like help them amplify it, even if it's from afar. I just want them to feel like there's no bad blood. Like it's always love. So that's kind of where that project is coming from. I'm raising money for it, so it's kind of a lot of money, but yeah, I don't know. I just feel in my heart that I can make it happen, and that I hope that the people who come and receive it will feel whatever they feel from it.
Man, that's so super dope. I had to watch the video. I know you showed me pictures, but the video did it more justice, just looking at the space and the way that those, like the church panes, window panes are stained glass. Stained glass brings a different energy to the space. And when you're talking about that energy, a lot of it comes from people, the spirit. So regardless of what religion, people's intentions are to rise up a positive, good spirit of a higher power. And those things they resonate and they stay. They don't leave spaces. So I think, you know, just being in that space, it's already a success to be in that space, because anybody and anything that comes in that space with your intention plus the intentions of everybody that's been there is going to raise it up. It's going to raise the vibrations extremely high. So I'm definitely looking forward to that in any way that I can assist. Or even if I can't assist, I'm going to assist by being there in the crowd. You know, so definitely looking forward to that. You talked about traveling and to both, I'll say both physically and sonically, because you talked about traveling to and going to a lot of shows and concerts, but also being out and seeing different countries. When you do travel, I want to ask, what is it that you are attempting to search for, even at concerts? What essence, what aura are you looking for? And what do you typically receive back from these concerts, music, and from these countries you've been to? I'm not trying to stump you. We just going in, we just getting into some convo.
I feel like when it comes to concerts, I just think that like when someone makes a really cool album, like experiencing it is so special and so memorable. So I think I just go for always like the thrill that concerts give me. I think concerts have always been spaces that like I feel like I can freely like be myself, and so like I'm usually very hype at concerts, like very like out there and just kind of really expressive. And so I think that it just brings a lot of joy in my life and a lot of peace, and it's always just something like I've been in love with. Like when I was in high school, like my mom didn't let me go to parties. Like she was like, no, you're not going to parties. Like I had 11 p.m. curfew. Like she was strict about that. But if I wanted to go to a concert, like I would be out to like 1:30 sometimes, and she wouldn't even like question when I went home. Like she always just like let me do that. And so like the first concert I went to, I was in like the 8th grade. And then the second one I went to, I was like 14, and it was Currency. And so just like experience that like culture, I think it just kind of like, I don't know, I think it just connected me to like something that I wasn't getting from like my high school, or that I wasn't getting from any other setting, because there's not really like many things young people can do. So all I did was go to concerts. But yeah, I think they just bring me a lot of joy, and I just have a deep love for them. And like performance art is like, when it comes to music, it's not something I've necessarily done publicly, but it's something that I'm definitely interested in, definitely pursuing right now, and kind of like stop doing all the other things to do the performance and the curation. So I think that like it just reflected something in me that I didn't know at the time I wanted to do, but I do want to do now. But I remember being, when I was like 18, I was like, I want to work at a concert venue. Like that's what I want to do. And I think I always knew that I wanted to put on shows. So I think just like creating those like one-time experiences feels really powerful to me about that.
Man, yeah, I'm with you.
Mm-hmm.
We've hit the road, and we have a schedule to hit the road some more.
Yes.
And I got my heat fixed, so we ain't
Okay.
gonna freeze this time.
Okay. We could drive my car too.
Yeah. What are some of the countries that you have visited, and just briefly, what was that like? Just being able to, even being as young as you are, to travel to 6 different countries.
Mm-hmm.
What's that experience like?
I went to Mexico when I was 16, and then I went to Jamaica when I was 19, and then when I was I 21? I think when I was 21, me and my friend did this like 4-country thing. So we went to the Netherlands, we went to Amsterdam and stayed in the countryside over there, and then we went to Spain, we went to Madrid, and then Morocco, and then we went to this place, or we went to Marrakesh in Morocco, which is like their like capital, and then we went to Chefchaouen, which is like this incredible mountain town that's like the whole entire town is blue. And so like all of the buildings are painted in different like hues of blues. And that place was just like breathtaking. And then I went to a few other places in Morocco. And then the last stop was in Thailand. And so, yeah, I feel like that specific trip just like opened my world to like just so many different sceneries I'd never seen before, especially like nature wise, but also just like just kind of like how everyday cities work. Like there's this spot in the Netherlands called Rotterdam, and that city is like incredible. It's just cool to see. It's very like creatively, like the architecture is very like creatively made. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of like the cube houses before. No, so. I'll have to show you a picture, but they're basically like these houses that are like these cubes, and they're like big and yellow, and that's like a big attraction there. And then they have this like 360 mural, so it's like a mural from the floor on the ceiling to the other side of the floor, and it has like this like giant like market in it, and then a mall underneath. And so just like experiences like that where I'm just like, yo, this is like incredible. And then one thing about like being in Europe, because I was there in the wintertime, is that like every bar and every place has like heated patios. So it's like there was still so much going on. And I just really like that culture of like being outside in the wintertime, because like obviously being in the house is depressing in the winter. So being able to be outside and like interact and mingle and still have that like culture was really powerful. But I think like what I love about traveling so much is like just connecting to like the nature, you know, because like I don't know exactly where I'm from in Africa, but I do know I have like strong African roots and strong like roots to like the earth and the nature, just as any other human. But I personally just like explore that in my life a lot. So I think I try to prioritize that when I go places. Like there's just something about like being in the mountains that like reminds me of like who I am, but also like how to be really humbled by like our creator. And so yeah, I think that's what I search for sometimes.
Yes, that's dope. Yeah, I've been to one country, stopped through one, but I went home to Nigeria. So that was
cool.
I got interesting stories from Nigeria. You talking craziness.
Story time with E.
Oh, we want one?
We want one.
All right, so which one? Man, we're going to do that one. So it's connected. So we stopped in Lagos. That's where we had to fly into. We're from Enugu, so that's East Nigeria. But we were in the capital in Lagos, and that's basically the New York of Nigeria. So it's craziness there. People, it may be 4 lanes of traffic, but there's 6 cars going down a lane with motorcycles going between you. So it was just like literally they touching your cars, boom, boom, getting past you. But we had went to the mall and got some stuff. And even the funny part about Nigeria is everything is a bargain, which means if you got a mouthpiece, you can talk the price down, even in the establishments. It don't matter if it got a price tag on it. Like, bro, this ain't worth this. You know, you got to be able to wheel and deal. Everybody just trying to eat. So it was, we were coming from the mall, and it was nighttime. So we were going to cut through the beach, actual beach side. Cause Lagos, you know, it's on by the water. Was that the Atlantic? I think so. Don't quote me on that. but we were driving through the beach trying to get to the next highway. It's nighttime. Well, I didn't know, and there's a line of people kind of trailing each other trying to cut through. Everybody cuts through. Well, they have their own set of gangsters out there. They call them area boys, and they set traps in the sand. So what they'll do is set a dune trap to make your car tire sink in and where they got to get you out. What they did, now the reason I noticed, we had a secondhand experience. I ain't gonna say firsthand because the car in front of us hit one of those traps. And as soon as it sunk down, it was the car in front of us. I seen 4 people walk out the bush with rifles, right in front of us. I'm like, my dad started tripping, like, what are you doing taking us through here? Get us the hell up out of here. And we was like, so everybody, I look back, everybody in line is just backing up because they know what time it is. So what they do is they don't want to hurt you. They want your money. And you ain't got to give it all up, but you got to give them something. So even while they did that, we start tucking, and secret compartments in the car just in case they try to run up on our car, but they getting hit. So we back up, we go around, like they'll look at you and everything. I'm like, oh shit, what's up, kinfolk? And like, your bag. And we went on about our way, and everybody else backed up, and because they'll let you out, and then they'll reset the trap and try to catch the next one. Again, they just trying to eat. They trying to get this money. But that was just one of that was like, yo, it's really gutty. And that was right after that same day I was on, how Detroit got 8 Mile, 7 Mile, all that kind of stuff to mark what mile marker they are in the city. They have theirs on the main highways called Mile 2, Mile 3 to mark where you at. And in high traffic times, one, if there's super high gridlock traffic, them same area boys walk up to your car. Hey, come off something. You got to pay them. Got to pay your duty. What's up? But I was on the side of the road. My dad pulled over because there's a lot of markets on the side of the road. So we over there, people fixing motorcycles, cars, there's markets, food. So he get me out. He like, yeah, go ahead and sit down and eat. So we eating, and mine just flies and stuff around. I ain't tripping like that. I start eating. My dad start laughing. I was like, why you laughing? He's like, I wouldn't ate that shit. It's all these flies. I'm like, then why you tell me to eat? Oh, just so I can have that. Like, dude, what you doing? But it was a beautiful trip, man. Like, to be overseas and to see a different way of life and to see how things function, and to make sure y'all visit a college over there, fellas, visit a college over there. Oh my God. We had to get a passport. And we also got my passport in one day. That's what? Money talk. You give them $100, like, hey. I'm like, okay, I'll be right back. Yeah, you know what time it is. But yeah, man, that was a fun experience. I almost went to jail. It was like super fun, man. Like, it was a lot went down, man. The best, just like over here, and then like especially places like Cali, street meat, when people grilling on the side of the street, best shit you gonna ever have, hands down, best shit I ever had.
Man, he said street meat.
Yeah, not the not the street walkings, but the street meat. I guess it's the male product. No, I'm playing. But grilling on the side of the street, man, that shit, it do something else. Like, I wish we could really do that here, like for real. Here we gotta have permits and shit. But man, it's I feel you, and I gotta went to Montreal. That's the other. I keep forgetting went to Montreal. So that's something y'all better gear up in June, man. Stop playing with me. Y'all better gear up for June. We gotta you haven't been to Montreal. That is a beautiful city. Very interesting. Mural festival.
Oh, okay.
So yes, we gotta make a trip. Things need to happen. But yeah, shit. I ain't got too many more questions. I ain't gonna lie to you. You got something, Johnny?
Yeah, man, but I mean, we gonna
go ahead.
The conversation flowing in a nice, smooth way.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. I mean, I guess, do you got any special shout outs or anything like that before we get ready to wrap up this conversation?
Shout outs.
Your brother, Death God.
Okay, yeah. Shout out to my brother, Death God, out here making music. He got a show on May 8th at the Slowdown. Open up for somebody. I don't know their name, but he's fire. Yeah, he's on all platforms. He has some new music that y'all don't know, but it's really, really cool. It's a different type of vibe than he normally puts out. And so I'm excited for him to share. And I try to help him a little bit with his stuff. So that feels good. And shout out to y'all for just having me and just, being like my friends in real life and just being able to connect and be in community with y'all is really powerful and healing. So
For sure. I mean, I was thinking about maybe your sister Egypt or something like that. You mentioned the influence she might have had.
okay,
And
yeah.
then you was talking about doing music. I mean, man, do you have a shout out for your sis Egypt?
Yes, I always have a shout out for my sis Egypt. I don't mean to leave her behind, but my sister is a very big influence on just the person that I am today. She's taught me a lot about how to like carry myself in the way that I do, and about how to like be really protective of my like energy and my space, and how to like, she's always like, don't let anybody tell you who they think you are, you know what I mean? Or like, like don't let people get in the way of the things that you got going on. Like I feel like she's been really powerful in just like just like the way that I carry myself. So I just want to thank her for always being supportive out here. And both times I went to Jamaica, I've spent my time with her, and so that's been really healing. And she's definitely like helped me navigate those type of spaces too, and like has taught me a lot how to like just move with people and stuff. And so even when I was visiting different countries, like I felt like I knew how to like, because like especially in Marrakesh, like people are like trying to like, people trying to make money out here. So they're going to try to like, if they see you as a tourist, they're going to, try to get what they can from you, or like try to be really pushy and like make you feel uncomfortable. So I feel like she just taught me how to be really like strong and resilient and protect myself. So shout out to you, Egypt.
I think that's perfect, because I was going to ask if you had any words for anybody listening younger, any words of advice. And I think that's it. Protect your energy.
Protect your energy. That is a real one. Listen to that Lil Sim song too. Protect your energy.
Man, this is amazing. I really love what you're doing, what you got going on, and who you're becoming.
Thank you.
And always continue to becoming. That means just staying on the journey. We don't there is no destination.
True
And when you don't have one, and you trust the process, and you are enjoying your journey, it opens up yourself up to more blessings, more things to come. It's a process, and it is beautiful to be a part of what you've done in the past, and hopefully what we'll do in the future. And I mean that, you know what I'm saying? So like I said, we got trips to make, we got people to see, we got memories to create for not only ourselves, for other people. You know what I'm saying?
True.
We a part of, you'll be a part of the legacy of creating, literally creating spaces and opportunities for people who did not have that outlet, that thing. So I'm blessed to be around you, and to know who you are, and to continue to learn who you are.
Yes, sir.
So, man, we appreciate it. Johnny,
Man.
blessings.
Yes, sir, man. I think you said it.
Man. Well, we going to get out of there. Where can the people find you at, Alajia?
You can find me on Instagram at Afra, AFRA _moon, but the moon is 2 zeros. That's mostly the main form of social media that I use. I have Facebook, but that's like only when I feel necessary to post stuff. Twitter is just like my little fun thing. So follow me on Instagram. I do have a website. It's alajia.art. So ALAJIA.art. And that just has a lot of information about the stuff that I made in the past, about the Juneteenth event, about Sunday Soul, and Juneteenth this year too, 2022. Secure some funding for it. We gonna make it happen bigger and better. So can't wait to show y'all that. And just thank y'all so much for having me here. And I just feel the same sentiments about both of you. And Eric, thank you for really being there, like at the beginning of my journey, and just like believing in the stuff that I was doing and supporting. And Johnny, you know how I feel about you. We've had a lot of great, powerful conversations. I feel like I've learned so much from you. You're a very wise person. So just grateful for the community that we can share with each other.
For sure.
Man, y'all know where to find the Streets A&R Podcast at. We on everything but Apple. That's the best way to put it, man. Everything but Apple. But we gonna get that fixed too. But also on Instagram, the Streets A&R, Streets A&R. Give your boys a follow, a like, a comment, a subscription, a share. Tell somebody to tell somebody. We need some ambassadors. We are not able to afford to peak. I don't give a damn about tax season. We ain't getting the P until y'all get us to 100
Like.
subscribers, cuz. You know what I'm saying?
I'm in subscribers.
Hey, cuz, y'all better stop playing with
You
me,
can still
cuz.
like on YouTube though.
Yeah, we like the videos, hit us up, man. We in a few countries ourselves. I checked the
Yeah.
stats, you know what I'm saying? We moving around.
We out here, man.
But yeah, we appreciate y'all. We got our fellas Montreal and Young God in the back holding it down as usual. And, you know, you can find me at Get Ejiki with it. That's GETEJIKEWITHIT, just like the Will Smith song, but my name.
You can find me at Johnny No Good. I don't even want to say it no more because y'all made me feel self-conscious. So you can just look up Johnny No Good. Google me Expedia.
That's JONNYKNO GOO and add a D. But yeah, man, we the Streets A&R Podcast, man. We getting up out of here. Thank you again for coming through.
Peace.
The beats, the flow, the rhythm. All movement starts from the streets. Streets A&R Podcast.